Welcome to Hotline TV, everybody. I'm John Mercurio.
And I'm Sean Miller. This is another edition of VEEPSTAKES.
All right, Sean Miller, thanks for joining us. We're expecting Barack Obama's VEEP announcement to come sometime this week, possibly as early as tomorrow morning. All right, so who do you think Obama will finally choose?
Well, the conventional wisdom is saying it's going to be Joe Biden.
I don't want the conventional wisdom, Sean Miller. I want your pick. You've been following this process more closely than any other journalist in America. Who's it going to be?
You know, I think there's a good chance that it could be Joe Biden. I don't want to go out too far on a limb here, though.
Okay.
I have a theory that it could not be Joe Biden.
Okay.
That this could all potentially be a massive distraction to announce his real pick.
Interesting.
Which is Hillary Clinton.
Nice. Okay, let's go with that. That could keep things interesting.
That's right.
Through the convention. It would certainly make a lot of her supporters happy. But let's talk about a little scoop we got from one of our favorite blogs, big friend of the show, the Palmetto Scoop.
That's right.
What are they reporting today?
Well, they're reporting that Kaine has had a meeting, Virginia Governor Tim Kaine has had a meeting with Obama's aides, and he left that meeting with the impression either that he was going to get the vice president's slot or that he already had it.
And that he went back to Richmond. He held an emergency meeting with his top executive staff in his governor's office to discuss what would happen if he were to have to step down, because a lot of Republicans in Richmond calling on Kaine to leave the governor's office if he does run for vice president, what the process would be to replace him. Of course, a lieutenant governor, being a Republican in Virginia, would take over his office.
That's right.
The Palmetto Scoop. We could be hearing a lot more from that very important political blog down in South Carolina.
I would say that you know, the scoop that the Palmetto Scoop got has sort of become emblematic of what's happening out there, is that there is a lot of rampant speculation, and nothing's really known. I mean, it could come Wednesday, it could come later in the week.
Isn't it ironic that the blog is called the Palmetto Scoop, and in fact they have, it seems like, what could be a scoop? Okay, Obama's aides also saying that they're beginning an elaborate rollout process for this announcement. What's that all about?
Well, Obama's planning to be in Virginia on Wednesday, and so speculation about Governor Kaine would coincide with an announcement then.
Okay.
But they're also saying that, you know, maybe he could change travel plans, that he could possibly veer off to Missouri or another battleground state and potentially do a tour there.
Okay, but what they're going to do, they're going to announce this thing via text, via email. It's going to be electronically announced before there's any sort of two people standing on a stage doing any sort of big thing. So we're going to have what sounds like what they hope to be several phases within a news cycle. So we have sort of like these microcycles, if I could just coin that phrase, if you don't mind, developing within this story. So clearly what they want to do is dominate the, at least if we believe the scenario, dominate the sort of morning news cycle with the talk shows, and then sort of carry that on throughout the day, and ideally for them throughout the week. All right, John McCain, not to be lost in this process, also said that he's going to give himself a little vice president for his birthday, which is of course on August 29th. What do we think about that?
Well, one of the interesting things that has come out there is that he is supposedly looking for a location for a massive 10,000 person rally in Ohio. A university near Dayton is supposedly the site. They've looked in, the McCain camp has looked into that. That raises speculation that it might be former Representative Rob Portman from Ohio. Could be. I mean, the speculation continues on McCain's side that it could be, you know, Mitt Romney, Governor Tim Pawlenty, sort of the same names that have stayed in the mix. The one thing that has happened, though, is that there has been a sharp backlash to McCain floating what was deemed a trial balloon when he suggested that he could potentially pick a pro-choice vice president in an interview with the Weekly Standard.
Interesting that he's choosing to do this on his birthday. Clearly his birthday also the Friday after the Obama convention. He's trying to clearly sap any sort of bounce out of Obama's speech on Thursday night at Invesco Field. You've seen the McCain campaign do this a lot with their VEEP announcement, trying to sap attention away from Obama. So maybe it's just a coincidence that he's doing it on that day, and it also happens to be his birthday, but it will accentuate the age factor. And is that the questions, I guess, some of the questions are whether or not that factors into his decision. Is he doing it on his birthday to showcase the fact that he is in fact an older man and is choosing a younger person who would be the future of the party? These are the questions we're asking today.
Right. And when will we get our answers?
I don't know. But until we do, that'll be it.
That's for Hotline TV. I'm Sean Miller.
And I'm John Mercurio. See you next time on Hotline TV.